You determine your worth. Don't let the world determine your worth, or don't let the world tell you how much, not just in payment wise, just in general. Don't let anybody tell
what you
you
deserve.
what you deserve, because
Mm-hmm.
there's a it's okay to have a specific level of standard, and some people will definitely try to trash you or try to like derail you on that, on the possibility of your standards are too high. I can't reach your standards to me. Well, if they can't reach my standards, I can't work with you, or I can't hang out with you. I can't be around you. I have a level of standards. I have a level of not exactly the way I want everything to be, because I'm not a control freak, but I'm not going to allow specific things in my life that aren't going to help me, or not going to make me a better person, or not gonna, or I'm not, or we can't, me and Mo feed off each other when it comes to ideas, or challenge each other when it comes to certain topics that we're bringing up, and maybe we looked at it a different way. That adds to my value, that adds to my life, instead of it, if he would just been like, you right, Lou, you right, it doesn't add anything to my life. I'm not saying that every single time it has to be that, but it's even with finances. I've had people tell me how much, you don't tell me what you're worth, I tell you how much you're worth when it comes to money. And I was like, bye. And then I went and I got way more money. I went from 16 and knowing I was worth more than that, and then jumping over to $27 an hour within a matter of less than a month. So some people will get you for what they can get you for, because they don't realize that you're smart enough to have standards. They're not going to tell you what your standards are. They're not going to set the bar for your standards for you.
Well, a lot of times too, that's business.
True.
Right? Business is, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna start a business and I'm hiring people, I am only paying people 25 an hour, and that's who I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get those quality of people too. So
But you also get what you pay for.
you get what you pay for. So you know what I mean? Like that. But you settling for that is your option. That's like I don't like people complaining about how much they're getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
You accepted that.
How much would I think about this? I wouldn't have never knew that I could make where I'm making now. Whenever I was in that position where I was only making 16, and I knew I was worth 20. Maybe I even told them I was worth 22 or 25 or something, which I wasn't worth, but at least 19, 20. But I didn't.
You gotta prove it.
I didn't exactly the action, but I didn't know it. I didn't know. I didn't have enough knowledge in that arena to know
But
the
again,
pecking order of things, the
but
hierarchy to me.
And you see how this all coincides, because the thing you just said too was you didn't know if you had the knowledge of it, right?
Correct.
That's being self-aware.
Correct.
And that's the problem. A lot of these people nowadays that I'm listening to, that I hear complaining, you're not self-aware that you have no skill.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you want to get paid the highest amount possible.
Yeah,
that drives me crazy. Like
so nuts.
there's difference.
Mhm.
Like, you know your worth, but in a certain field, you got to have knowledge of it too.
Yeah.
You can't just go in there and expect to be
Just
paid the highest,
immediately want to get
or
paid.
when nobody else is getting paid,
Yeah.
and you know nothing about it, and you have no skills. And that's what a lot of people out here complaining about. It's like,
Mhm.
bro, listen, and I have no problem with somebody working at McDonald's. My thing is, there's really not a lot of skill that go on, right?
Yeah, right.
There's not. You don't have to. There's no like. There's nothing that nobody can go in McDonald's and learn at that same pace that you did.
Right.
And it's like you want to get paid $20 an hour.
Yeah.
That's not gonna work.
No.
Right? It's not gonna work. They don't pay that much, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
So it's like
Then you have
knowing
to find
your worth is also knowing yourself.
Right.
And that goes back to self-awareness, knowing
And also,
that, like,
also understanding
I don't know
your
this
field.
much yet. I need to
Understanding
learn
your
more.
field. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Get
need to
your
learn
field.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to learn more, get some more skills to be able to go out and get that pay. But once you get the skills, and again, this is about being humble too, is, you know, if somebody says 25, it is what it is. That's how much they're willing to pay, and you just don't take it.
Yeah.
Like if I go somewhere and they say, you know, I'm like, listen, I can't do it for that much. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not.
It is what it is.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You know, this is not
Good.
opportunity is not for me.
Right.
And I'll walk out and I'll go somewhere else where they're gonna pay me more. So
But sometimes it's okay. Sometimes like this is what I always do. I always look at the hierarchy and pecking order. I see how much the highest guy get paid. Even if he doesn't tell me, I can Google most of the shit, and I'll find out exactly where the highest paid to the lowest paid in that exact company or business is, and work my way down from there. And I want to know not how fast, but how can I get from where I am to close to where he is, and I'll work my way up, down, and all around in the middle, just to see if I can get at least somewhere in the middle, and then work my way up from there. So and if hopefully there's no ceiling. Sometimes there is a ceiling on that, or a cap on that pay.
There's a ceiling.
Yeah, most companies.
Yeah, most of them gonna have a company, and you know what I mean. I would love to get into more about this, because especially I ran into some younger people, and they was as far as we'll get into it on another video. But yeah, like I said, know your worth. Like but you gotta be real with yourself too. Is like, what is your worth?
What
Like,
is your
what
worth?
do you think you're worth in the marketplace?
Right,
Like,
100%.
if you were the owner,
Yeah.
how much
How
would
much
you
would you
pay
pay
you?
Yes.
And if you're looking at yourself like, damn, I don't know nothing about this
Yeah, I
job.
just got
Right?
in here. I was a
I'm
bartender.
like getting out of high school and I was doing waitressing or
You got to
waitress.
start somewhere.
And it's like now you want to be the corporate manager of Chick-fil-A or something like craziness,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you're like, I don't know anything
You
about
gotta
it.
know
It's
where
good to
you're-
jump into stuff and learn as you go,
Yeah.
but like
But
sometimes
you got to know where your position is.
you gotta
Where-
settle yourself, learn, grow. Especially, I would tell you in trades, which I want to get into this on another video, but like trades, you start at the bottom. We'll get into another video, but like I said, don't settle. Know your worth, but actually be honest with yourself about your worth. A lot of people think they're worth a lot more than they're not.
And they're not.
And I'm not the one to tell you, but you could determine that for yourself.
If you're being
especially
honest
in a
with yourself.
certain situation,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
And but it's not just
Like, you can't-
financial though. Just to let you know, it's also just in people.
know your worth
Yeah, the
is
people
how
around
much
you
you're worth.
in general.
To the company.
Yeah, well, it's not. Yeah, not
Right?
just
How much-
not just the company either.
Well, I'm
people
saying
around
how much do you bring to the company? It's like if you add the company, right? And
Yeah.
I said I'm gonna bring Louis in.
Yeah.
Like how much is he worth? It's not money value. It's like, damn, he can really grow my company.
Right. So
right? He's a good
that's what I
person.
was
He
gonna
can do
bring.
this.
I can become an asset. You have to
Yeah,
you have
asset.
to create yourself and become an asset, and you think about it business wise. What am I adding to the company
Yeah, what are
that
you
they
adding?
had before or
And if you
didn't
leave,
have?
what is it?
What
gonna
are they
be?
gonna
Some people
lose?
think the company's gonna fall when they leave, and I'm like,
It's not true. Companies there.
that's
before.
never happened.
Right.
I've never. There's
Right.
nobody I know in any business that was like, when I left, man, the company went to shit. They always think that though,
Yeah.
but when they leave, the company's still going up and still making more money, and then
Right.
they're looking like
Right.
crazy.
So it's not just company wise; it's people too. So like it's settling.
that's too.
I
Friends,
would never
people.
ever allow myself to settle for less than what I deserve. So if somebody treats me, that's why people stay in abusive relationships. That's why people
Yeah,
stay in
they don't know their
a
worth.
situation because they don't understand it. It does lead into that worth because because I want better quality for my life, or because I have a bit higher standard for my life. I'm not settling for less than what I want and what I deserve in my life. I'm not just gonna sacrifice that for just anybody. It's not gonna happen. No, not just anybody. Because
Again,
I respect myself enough to
Self-
not allow that to happen.
self-awareness and knowing where you stand.
Yeah.
So again, never settle. Know your worth.
Know your worth, bro.
Be realistic about your
Yeah.
worth, especially when it comes to a job or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But
But
people in your life too. Just make
Yeah,
sure
people in
you're.
your life to go around.
If you look around and you're like, wow, have you ever been in a situation where you're like, wow, you have a conversation with somebody and it just it went nice. And you're like, wow, that was a good conversation I had. I wish I had more conversations like that. You can have hundreds of conversations like that. It's just most of the people that you're surrounding yourself with don't want to have that conversation.
Yeah,
They're
they're
mostly
not.
negative, or they're mostly have an attitude, or they're frustrating. You know what I mean? So overall, like, pay attention to those types of things, so this way you can know your worth and you can never, and just make sure you never settle for less.
keep going, keep learning.
That's it, bro. It's life.